Have you ever felt like you're fighting against life itself? Pushing everything, forcing results, trying to control even what can't be controlled. Today, you're going to discover three treasures of Wu Wei, a timeless Taoist principle that can help free you from this invisible tension. How to act effectively without forced effort. How to listen to life's rhythm and flow with it. And why true rest may be the most powerful act you can take. These teachings have transformed lives for over 2,000 years, and today, they may transform yours. By the end of this video, you'll have a simple and profound practice to apply Wu Wei in your daily life, at work, in relationships, and in your own mind. Welcome to Axiom Sage, timeless Eastern wisdom to transform your mind and spirit. And this is not just another video. It's an invitation to pause the outside world for a few minutes and reconnect with something more essential inside you. Close your eyes for a brief moment and breathe with me. Inhale, exhale, once more. You are here. And that is already the beginning. Here we explore the ancient wisdom of Asia, Taoism, Zen, and Confucianism, without dogma, with depth, silence, and real-life application for the modern world. Today, I want to guide you through a principle that may go against everything you've been taught, that effort is not always a virtue, and that there is a way to live that doesn't drain you but sustains you. You just have to learn how to trust the flow. Imagine this: you're doing everything right, putting in effort, staying focused, being productive, but still, you feel constantly tired, never at peace. The truth? Maybe effort itself is the problem. What you're trying to control is exactly what you need to release. This is the first impact of Wu Wei. Lao Tzu, the Taoist sage, called it action without forced effort. And soon you'll understand why trying too hard is what pulls you away from clarity, ease, and your true nature. In the 6th century BCE, an old man riding a water buffalo quietly left the city. His name was Lao Tzu, Old Master. He left behind civilization, noise, and war, and headed for the mountains. At the border, a gatekeeper stopped him and said, "Before you go, leave us your wisdom." There, Lao Tzu wrote 81 verses that would change the spiritual history of the world. The Tao Te Ching, the Book of the Way and its virtue. In it, he describes something radical. Nature never hurries, yet everything is accomplished. Tao Te Ching, chapter 64. He called it Wu Wei, which literally means non-action, but in practice means effortless action. It's not passivity, it's syncing with the natural flow of life. It's doing what needs to be done without fighting reality. Have you ever noticed how water moves? It doesn't fight the rocks, it flows around them, it doesn't resist. Yet over time, it reshapes everything it touches with grace and persistence. That is the spirit of Wu Wei. And it holds three virtues that Lao Tzu called the three treasures of the Tao. 1. Compassion, the kindness that doesn't need to overpower to be strong. 2. Humility, knowing your worth doesn't depend on being seen. 3. Non-competition, doing your best without needing to dominate. Today, we'll apply these three virtues to your life, in practice, and we begin with compassion. But be mindful. Taoist compassion is not emotion, it is presence without aggression. First treasure, the strength of non-reactive compassion. In Wu Wei, compassion doesn't mean giving until you're depleted. It means not returning reactivity with more reactivity. It is firmness without aggression. Think of a difficult conversation you've had recently. Maybe someone confronted you, criticized you, or just spoke harshly. Your instinct was probably to defend yourself or strike back. But imagine if in that moment you simply took a breath, allowed the emotion to pass without clinging to it, responded with presence, not with reaction. That's compassion in the Tao. It's soft, but unshakable. Modern science agrees. Studies from Stanford University show that people trained in mindfulness and non-reactivity exhibit 40% less activation in the amygdala, the brain's fear and aggression center. Another study from Harvard Business School found that leaders with compassionate emotional regulation were more effective, more respected, and healthier. Wu Wei isn't just ancient philosophy, it's emotional technology ahead of its time. And the first step is this: breathe before you react. Simple? Yes, but radical. In a world addicted to reaction. Second treasure, modesty as a silent strength. In the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu says, "Those who display themselves do not shine. Those who assert themselves are not recognized. Those who boast do not convince. Those who elevate themselves do not prosper." Tao Te Ching, chapter 24. In the Taoist view, modesty is not self-erasure. It is firmness without noise. It is the kind of strength that acts in silence. Remember water. It makes no speeches. It simply nourishes, shapes, and transforms deeply. And we were taught to do the opposite, to prove, to show, to push. But Wu Wei teaches don't prove, be. Don't assert, radiate. Have you ever been in a meeting where everyone spoke loudly, fighting to be right, and then one person sat quietly, but when they spoke, everyone listened? That's Wu Wei in action. Modesty doesn't mean always staying silent. It means speaking at the right moment with clear presence. It's knowing you don't need to compete because you're already aligned with what matters. You don't have to shout when you're at peace with what is. Modesty is having enough inner space to observe before acting. And this creates something rare: authority without authoritarianism. Modern psychology calls this authentic presence. Harvard studies show that people who act with conscious humility evoke more trust and empathy than those who rely on power poses. Additionally, leaders who avoid ego battles and self-promotion foster workplaces with 35% lower emotional turnover. The Tao knew this centuries ago. The sage does not display himself, and that is why he is admired. Tao Te Ching, chapter 22. Wu Wei invites you to be relevant without being loud. There was a time when I thought I had to constantly prove myself. In school, at work, in relationships, but all it did was leave me exhausted and empty. One day, sitting in silence at a Zen temple, I saw a gardener pruning flowers with such grace that something inside me softened. He didn't need to be noticed. He was fully present in what he was doing. And in that moment, I understood. When you align with the Tao, the world notices, even if you're not trying to be seen. Since then, my practice has been speak less, do more, with presence. Let your impact speak for you. Let silence be your ally. Third treasure, non-competition and conscious rest. The Tao does not compete. That is why nothing can compete with it. Tao Te Ching, chapter 22. Here lies a disarming Taoist truth. What wins without fighting wins forever. Lao Tzu teaches that the Tao acts in the world not through force, but through intelligent surrender. It surrenders to the natural rhythm, to the tides, to silence, and by doing so, it endures. In Wu Wei, non-competition doesn't mean accepting injustice passively. It means not acting from ego and not forcing against the natural flow. It's allowing life to move through you without the friction of constant comparison. We live in a culture where rest has become guilt, but in the Tao, rest is considered essential action. Because only those who rest consciously can act with clarity afterward. Studies show that even brief moments of mindful pause increase focus, creativity, and emotional regeneration. Companies that implement 10 minutes of daily silence report 40% more genuine productivity, 25% less turnover, and stronger empathy in internal relationships. Nature never rushes, and yet everything is accomplished. Lao Tzu. Wu Wei invites us to stop without anxiety, to rest without guilt, to be silent without feeling absent. Let me share something personal. There was a year when I pushed too hard. I tried to create content every day without pause. I wanted to study, work, record, socialize, all with excellence. Until one day, my body shut down. My mind was cloudy, my chest tight, my sleep broken. I saw a doctor. It wasn't physical illness. It was a lack of inner space. What was missing was Wu Wei. What was missing was the courage to stop. That same month, I chose to embody the Tao as it is. I stopped trying to win every day and began to trust. Now I produce less, but with far more depth, and I sleep peacefully. Wu Wei doesn't just teach us how to rest in stillness, it teaches us how to make the gesture itself a form of rest. Cooking without hurry, walking without headphones, listening to someone without interrupting, lying on the floor and watching the ceiling, drinking tea, just drinking tea. These actions are not unproductive, they are healing. They are the fertile soil of the Tao within you. Because when you rest deeply, you realign. And everything that is born from a realigned body has power. You've made it this far. You've quieted down, reflected, felt. Now, see how it all connects. 1. Effortless action. When you stop forcing, precision is born. Action flows like water, light, yet unstoppable. 2. Listening to life's rhythm. When you slow down, you begin to hear. The Tao doesn't shout, it whispers. 3. Non-competition and conscious rest. When you stop fighting everything, what used to be tension becomes clarity, and what was once exhaustion becomes nourishment. These three treasures are not isolated techniques. They are inner postures. They are like invisible roots that support a steady tree, one that grows slowly, yet with a sure direction. Now let's step together into a practice of integration. You don't need any experience with meditation. All you need is to be present. Close your eyes, breathe gently. Feel the base of your body touching the surface where you sit. Bring your awareness to this moment. Now silently repeat, I'm not here to win. I'm here to flow. I'm not here to force. I'm here to trust. Inhale through your nose, counting to 4. Hold the breath for 2 seconds. Exhale through your mouth, counting to 6. One more time. Breathe in. Let go. Now bring to mind a situation where you've been trying too hard, maybe at work, in a relationship, or with yourself. Just observe, without judgment. Now, imagine letting go of control, as if you were a boat on the water and you set down the oars. Trust the flow. Repeat silently, I align with the Tao. I am part of life's flow. My actions come from listening. Now, visualize this image. You are like a leaf carried gently down a calm stream. No resistance, no fear, no hurry. Stay in this visualization for another minute. Begin to slowly return. Feel your feet, your shoulders, your face. When you're ready, open your eyes and carry this state with you. You don't need to prove yourself. You don't need to fight everything. You already are, and that is enough. If you've made it this far, something inside you has already shifted. Maybe subtly, maybe deeply, but it has changed. You've felt the silence. You've touched the space where life doesn't need to be pushed. You've heard what is usually drowned out by noise. Your own essential rhythm. And that alone is transformation. Here at Axiom Sage, we don't offer quick formulas. We offer a space for reconnection with what is timeless, a place to remember. You don't need a fight to be accepted. You don't need to prove yourself to be worthy. You simply need to remember your true nature. If this video touched something within you, if this journey made sense, if you want to walk with more lightness and wisdom, subscribe, not just for more videos, but to be part of a quiet community, one that chooses presence over haste, trust over control, being over appearances. Today, you didn't hear generic advice. You accessed ancient wisdom. Wu Wei is not just a Taoist concept, it is a way of living. And today you experience the three treasures of the art of non-forcing. 1. Effortless action, where results emerge from harmony, not tension. 2. Listening to the flow of life, where wisdom arises from silence. 3. Conscious rest as a powerful act, where you learn to trust the pause. These are not tricks. They are ancestral truths. And today, you live them. Now take one final breath with me. Close your eye, relax your shoulders, feel the lightness in the air, and carry this mantra with you. I act with lightness. I rest with trust. I flow with the Tao. One more time. I act with lightness. I rest with trust. I flow with the Tao. Let it echo into your day, into your week, into your life. Gratitude for walking this path with me. Gratitude for your quiet presence. And remember, whenever you need, come back here. This space is yours. Until next time, here at Axiom Sage, timeless wisdom from the East to transform your mind and spirit, where silence and wisdom walk side by side.